Dear students, how are you? I know we are not leading our usual life. We had our plans, but fate decided otherwise. But let's all be grateful that we are still breathing and healthy. We are going through this new normal situation together. We believe we will be able to overcome the challenges on winning notes. So, we should not waste our time in any way. Rather, focus on our goal proactively. So, to be on your side, I'm here with another topic from English second paper grammar syllabus. Our topic is change of speech or narration. The word narration comes from the word narrate. The other name for narration is speech. Narrations are of two kinds: direct narration or direct speech and indirect narration or indirect speech. Direct speech is a sentence which reports its speech in its original form by the original speaker. It is enclosed in quotation marks. The speaker is either mentioned or implied. For example, Mita says, "I am a little bit worried." Notice the speech quoted within the inverted comma. So, this is a direct speech. Indirect speech. Indirect speech is a means of expressing the content of statements or questions without quoting them as is done in direct speech. The direct speech, Mita says, "I'm a little bit worried," will become Mita says that she is a little bit worried. Kindly note that in the second one, the speech is reported in narrative form without quoting the exact words, and it is indirect speech. So now it's clear that there are two kinds of narration or speech: direct and indirect. A direct speech has two parts: reporting verb and reported speech. You have to have a clear understanding on reporting verb and reported speech. The verb of the sentence before or after the statement of a person is called reporting verb, and the part of the sentence in which something has been told by a person is called reported speech. In direct speech, this part is enclosed in quotation marks. Let me show you an example. Ronnie said to me, "I went to market to buy some books." Here, the part of the sentence within the inverted comma, which is "I went to market to buy some books," is the reported speech. And the verb of the part before the statement is the reporting verb. That means said is the reporting verb. To change a direct speech into indirect speech, we must learn some basic rules at first. Without applying these rules, it won't be possible to change the speech in a correct way. That's why in this discussion, I will focus on these important basic rules and explain them one after another. Please keep an exercise copy and a pen with you. Note down everything in the exercise copy for your reference. We will start with the change of tense. When the reporting verb is in present tense or in future, no change is required in the tense of the reported speech. For instance, mother says or will say, "I like to play with my children." In the indirect speech, it will be mother says or will say that she likes to play with her children. Because of this rule, here in the indirect speech, the tense remains the same. Secondly, remember that whatever the reporting verb is, when the direct speech describes a universal truth, habitual truth, constant fact, geographical fact, or quotations, the tense of the reported speech does not change in the indirect speech. For example, mother said, "Man is mortal." So, in the indirect speech, it will be Mother said that man is mortal. As the statement man is mortal is a universal truth, the tense remains the same. If the reporting verb is in past tense, then the tense of the reported speech will be changed as per the given criteria. This chart shows the rules of changing tense. Present indefinite tense is changed into past indefinite tense. Present continuous to past continuous. Present perfect changes to past perfect. Present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous. Past indefinite tense changes to past perfect tense. Past continuous, past perfect continuous. Past perfect, past perfect, past perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. Future tense, future in the past. Note that no change is required to make into past perfect and past perfect continuous change. In the future tense, while no changes are made except shall and will are changed into should and would. There are certain rules in the change of person of pronouns. Rule 1. First person pronouns in reported speech are always changed according to the subject of the reporting verb. For example, Lopa said to Ronnie, I am reading a storybook. Lopa told Ronnie that she was reading a storybook. In this statement, I belongs to first person, so it changes according to the subject of the reporting verb. Second person pronouns in reported speech are always changed according to the object and the number of the object of the reporting verb. For instance, Lopa said to Ronnie, you are reading a book. Lopa told Ronnie that he was reading a book. Hence, in this statement, you can see that as you use the second person, it changes according to the object of the reporting verb. Third person pronoun in reported speech are not changed. So, they remain the same. Again, Lopa said to Ronnie, they are reading storybooks. So, in the indirect speech, they will remain the same, which is Lopa told Ronnie that they were reading storybooks. Then we need to know the subject, object, and their possessive form to change the speech. Here, in this given chart, you can see that the object of the subject I is me and its possessive form is my. The object of you is you and the possessive form is your. For the word we, the object is us and the possessive form is our. Like this, she, her, he, him, his, they, them, their, and for it, the object is it and the possessive form is its. Memorize this chart and it will definitely help you to understand narration better. If the reporting verb is in past tense, then we also need to change some words and expression of time. I have attached the list here. You can see the word this changes into that. These, those, thus, so, now, then, here, there, hence, thence, hither, thither, go, arrive, must, had to, ago, before, can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, today, that day, tomorrow, the next day, the following day, yesterday, the previous day, the day before, last night, the previous night, last week, the previous week, the day after tomorrow, in 2 days' time, the day before yesterday, 2 days before, next week, the following week, it, ought to, would, should, could, might, would, should, could, might. You can see we don't need to change these words. These rules are mandatory for converting direct speech and indirect speech. So, please note down everything in your copy and memorize thoroughly. Must is somewhat a strong word that means required, non-optional, or mandatory. The word must has no past form. So, usually we use had to instead of must. For example, he said, I must go to Khulna on Monday. He told that he had to go to Khulna on Monday. When the direct speech describes a habitual fact, the word must remains the same. For example, the teacher said to his students, you must obey your parents. The statement is a habitual fact. Therefore, in the indirect speech, must does not change. The teacher told his students that they must obey their parents. Exceptions are there in case of the word we. When the speaker and the listener both are indicated by the word we, it does not change. Bina said to me, we should do our duty. We indicates to Bina and me both. Therefore, in the indirect speech, the word we will not change. Bina told me that we should do our duty. If mankind is indicated by we, the word remains the same. The teacher said, we are mortal. Here, we indicates mankind. So, the indirect speech for this sentence is the teacher told that we are mortal, not they are mortal. When we is used in the editorial of the newspaper, the word we is replaced by the word it. The Daily Star said, we published that report on environment pollution. The Daily Star said that it published that report on environment pollution. Note, here we is replaced by the word it. Change in this and these. When time is indicated by this, the word this is replaced by that. Example, Moni said to Raju, I'm leaving Dhaka this week. In this statement, the word this indicates time. That's why in the indirect speech, this word this will be replaced by the word that. Moni told Raju that she was leaving Dhaka that week. When this or these is used as an adjective, the is used instead of this or these. Rina said, I am keeping this flower vase on the dining table. Here, this is an adjective. So, in the indirect speech, the word this must be replaced by the word the. Rina said that she was keeping the flower vase on the dining table. When this or these is used as pronoun, it or they is used instead of this or these. Follow this example. She said to Ronnie, Mita bought a pen for you. She would like to give this to you. She told Ronnie that Mita had bought a pen for him and she would like to give it to him. You can see that as in the direct speech, the word this is used as a pronoun. In the indirect speech, this is replaced by the word it. We have come to the end of this session. Please focus on each and every rule that I have discussed today. All of these are very basic ones but extremely important. If you don't apply these rules, you won't be able to change the direct speech into indirect and the indirect speech into direct in the correct way. In my next lecture, I will show you the changes in different types of sentences. Before joining my next class, make sure to memorize everything. Otherwise, all our efforts will go in vain. Don't release your concentration and spirit. Let's keep praying for better days because they're sure to come. Remember, only in the darkness can you see the stars. Therefore, don't be afraid. Don't lose hope. See you soon. Till then, stay safe, stay strong. Thank you.